Um, and I've got this little spiel that I'm gonna start with, and then I'll just ask you a few questions. Sound good?
Hit me with it, baby.
All right, I'm gonna put on my teacher voice. So, hello, Jed MacKay. Thank you very much for joining me. This is going to be a quick interview for the Secondary 1 students at Collège Mont Saint-Louis, who at the moment are learning about superheroes, and they are going to create a superhero character for a comic book project. So I thought it would be a great idea to talk to my friend Jed, because you write comic stories for Marvel. Is it okay if I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, certainly.
Excellent. So my first question is, how did you become involved in writing superhero comics for Marvel?
I became involved by me. I used to make comics with a friend of mine named Sheldon, who was an artist. Marvel asked Sheldon to draw a comic for them, and he brought me along to write because Sheldon is a very good artist, whereas I was an okay writer.
Okay, and what did you do before you became a comic book writer?
Well, Mr. Lazenby, I was a teacher.
Ah, okay. Just like me. See, I could become a comic book writer then, right?
I wouldn't say just like you.
All right. So tell me a little bit about some of the comics that you've done. So, like, what are some of the comics that you wrote in the last couple of years, and what do you think is the best story that you did, or maybe the story that you are most proud of?
Well, the story that I'm most proud of and is kind of my main thing is Black Cat, who is she's a character that comes from Spider-Man. She's a thief, and she's been going around stealing things from different people in the Marvel universe. Doctor Strange, the Fantastic Four, Iron Man, the whole gang. So that's the comic I'm most proud of. Other than that, I have written Daredevil. I've written Daughters of the Dragon. I've written several different Spider-Man stories, and I have an Avengers book coming out soon, where the Avengers have robot suits. It's called Avengers Mech Strike.
All right, cool. So that's a pretty impressive CV. My next question, I was wondering if you could describe the process of writing a comic book. For example, like, how long does it take to come up with a story? Do you communicate a lot with the artists? Do you receive instructions, like clear instructions from Marvel? Any of these
Mhm.
things?
So once I have a job where an editor at Marvel says, "Hey, would you like to do this book?" And I always say yes, because I need money. Um, at that point, I think I come up with my ideas. I write in my notebook all my thoughts and what I want to do. And once I have an idea that I think is good, I'll put it in an email and send it to my editor. And they'll email me back and say, "Yes, this is very good," or "No, are you crazy? This is terrible. This will make the company fall apart." Um, if it is good, then I start to write it. I figure out what I want to do, and then I go on my computer and I write a script, like you would have a script in a movie or a play. Once that is done, then the editor will send it to the artist. And the artists live all over the world. I've worked with artists in Canada, the United States, Mexico, Spain, Italy, France, various places in South America. Because with the internet, I can work in Canada with an editor in New York and an artist anywhere in the world. So once the artist draws their pages, they will email them to the editor and me, and we'll look over them. We'll say, "This is great. This looks so good." Or maybe this needs to change. This character doesn't look the right way. Maybe change the way this is working. And we'll go back and forth. We'll communicate. We'll collaborate. And once that is done, then it goes to the colorist who colors in the work, and the letterer who puts all the dialogue, the words, and letters and sound effects. And then that's it. Then that's a comic book. Then it goes to the printer, and then it goes to the store, and then you have it in your hands.
Wow. Okay. So it's really a big international operation.
I mean, it's a big deal, Matt. It's a big deal. Excuse me, Mr.
Hey,
Lazenby.
hey, it is. It is. So my next question is more about the character development. The comics that you write they're popular all around the world, and the characters have very loyal fans. As the writer, how much flexibility do you have when you develop your characters? And I mean, like, can you add or change things about certain superheroes' personalities? Can you make them very different, or do they have to always be the same?
That depends. For a character who is very top level, they cannot change. They have to be the way they're supposed to be. For instance, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is very famous, and Spider-Man has certain things that he always does. Spider-Man always helps people. He always feels guilty. He always tries to do his best. So if I wanted to write a comic where Spider-Man decides to rob an SAQ, that's going to be a problem. They will not be happy. But for characters who are lower level that don't have as many fans, then you can change some things because they want these characters to have more fans. And maybe a change will get them more fans. It will make them more popular or more exciting. So for characters who are very popular already, you have to be very careful. Whereas characters who are less popular, you have more freedom to change them or come up with your own ideas.
As I mentioned earlier, the students at Collège Mont Saint-Louis are going to create their own superhero characters. What are some personality traits that define superheroes and supervillains? And do you have any advice for them?
Well, when you are trying to create a new superhero, and trust me, I have done it, it's sometimes very hard and sometimes very easy. The first thing you want to think about is, why are they being a superhero, or why are they being a supervillain? Are they doing it because it's the right thing to do? Are they doing it for revenge? Are they doing it because they want to help people, or they're trying to find someone, or they're trying to make money? So it's always really important to think, why is this person a superhero, or why is this person a supervillain? And then the second most important thing is, you need to make them look cool. You need to have a cool costume. That's why you have people like Spider-Man or Doctor Doom. They stick around. They've been around for decades because they have cool costumes. Where guys like 3D Man, the Forgotten One, you don't know these names because they had terrible costumes and they look stupid and no one wanted to read about them. So remember, why do they do it? Make them look cool.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
But final question I have for you is, what are your plans for 2021? Do you have any new jobs coming up? Is it going to be a busy year for you? What can your fans expect?
It's 2021 is going to be a very busy year for me. It already is a very busy year. I have currently I'm writing Black Cat, and then I have two more series, ongoing series that are going to be coming out that are not announced, so I can't say what they are. And I have one more mini series that I'm going to be working on, which is also not announced, so I can't say who it is, but it's someone big. So stay tuned to the internet if you're interested when those announcements go out. But it's going to be a very big year for me. It's going to be a very exciting year. And hopefully people like the books that I put out.
Excellent. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me.
I mean, anything from what I'm told is the best class in the best school in Montreal. That's correct, right?
Definitely. Definitely. Best students, best class, best school. You got it all right there.
Awesome.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And yeah, good luck in the future.
Oh, thank you. And you know what? Good luck to you too, Mr. Lazenby.
Thanks. You should make a superhero about me, you know? Captain
I mean,
Lazenby.
how can I? You're already a superhero.
Yeah, just with
Right
no
here. Superhero right here.
superhero with no superpowers. That's me.
Number one with a bullet.
All right, I'm going to stop the recording.